Hey there, folks, it's me, your old pal, Officer Hank Schlitz, the Game Cop, coming to you over this stupid thing called the Internet Land to bring you my thoughts and my truth and my ideas. And this is one of them. I had one a little while ago. I don't remember when I made it. It was called The Christmas Dinosaur. It was a free Hollywood movie because I know that, even though I've got all these great terrific stories in my mind, I don't know if I'm ever going to actually get to see them come to life because I've got a lot of responsibilities here in North Lake as a police officer, keeping the law, and making sure that junk is off the streets here. And I'm not going to be able to make these movies. So I'm just kind of using my platform here, the YouTube channel, to just make Hollywood aware of these ideas. And I'm just saying, hey, you can steal these. It's fine. I don't care. I'm giving them to you. It's free. I'm like Jonas Salk with the polio vaccine. Like, just take it. I'm just for the good of the world. I hope you can use it somehow. And you probably will be seeing The Christmas Dinosaur on TV. My other idea before long. And I'm here for another one because it's October, yes, and a scary, spooky month, the month that Satan created to allow all of his witches and ghouls and ghosts and goblins to scuttle about in the darkness where the Lord can't see them. And it always keeps me in mind of all of the horrible evil going on and all of the scary spirits that have special powers at this time of year. And I had a little idea pop into my noggin about a fun family story full of horror and terror and peril. And it's called Grannyjuice. Yes, and that means will become apparent soon. Just shut up and listen, okay? This is the story of Grannyjuice, a free Hollywood movie by Hank Schlitz, the Game Cop. Take it if you will, enjoy it, make it real. Okay, so we open on the flaming landscape. There's fire everywhere, dilapidated buildings, cans of fire, garbage is on fire, everything's on fire. Roving bands of youths are accosting women in the streets and stealing the babies. The year is 2077. It's World War III, and North Korea is running the United States. And we see a little house on the side, and we zoom in and we pull in on the little window, and we see a lovely family of four enjoying a delicious turkey dinner. And it's Pop-Up, it's Mum-Mum, it's Little Tyke, and it's Granny. And they're sitting there eating their turkey, talking about the day. The puppy's looking up at them saying, "Can I have some?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'd love to. You're all right in my book, Pup, but this is really good turkey. I don't know if there's going to be any left." And they're talking about the day. Little Tyke is like, "Oh, I had a really fun time at the science fair. I got third place." And Dad is not impressed. He's like, he doesn't even comment on it because he's talking about, someone at work. Oh, Tim at work. He's not pulling his weight. I mean, there's no one's ever pulling their weight as much as Dad at work. That's pretty clear. Mom doesn't have anything to say because nothing happens to her, and Granny's just sitting there enjoying all the conversation happening and just sucking it in and saying, "Oh, what a wonderful life I'm enjoying here." And she says that to herself. "Oh, what a wonderful time. Oh, I love my family so. Oh, you've eaten all your food. Good." And they're just kind of laughing and having a good time. But then, all of a sudden, Metalfoot smashes through the window. Oh, it's a giant North Korean war mech. And it goes, "Papers, please." And they all show their papers, but it's crushed Granny. And they're like, "Oh my God, she didn't get the chance to show her papers." And then the robot says, "Collateral damage inspection initiated." That's the red lasers coming out of its eyes and scanning the goo on its foot. And it goes, "Sorry, here is your family compensation death tax allowance." And it spits out $600 and then it goes about its day. And everyone is quite devastated because Granny just died. She was killed by one of the roving war mechs that police the streets in these days. And everyone's just kind of not sure what to do about it, They all look at each other, and it's sad. And then we cut to the next scene because nothing really happens to these people until then. And they're having dinner again, but Granny's not there. There's a very noticeable, gigantic hole in the wall where she died. And they haven't even cleaned it up totally yet, so there's still a lot of, brown, reddish liquid around this area. And they're just kind of not talking, It's a noticeable difference from before. Little Tyke isn't talking about his school day. Dad's not bitching about work. They're all just kind of slowly picking at the leftovers from the turkey dinner before. There was some left, but they didn't give it to the dog because they knew they wouldn't feel like cooking after such a terrible tragedy. But it's not all so bad because they're sitting there and sulking, but then a magical swirl appears, glitters in light, golden sun rays. And who should appear but it's Granny in a delicious looking black and white pinstripe suit. And she's chomping on a big fat cigar. And she says, "Miss me, did ya?" And we're like, "Granny, oh my God, we thought you were killed." And she's like, "I was killed, but when I went to the afterlife, the lady that works at the desk there decided to give me special superpowers so that I can be a special granny ghost. So you better not call me Granny anymore. It's more like I'm Grannyjuice." Yeah, and then that's when the title shows, and because then the music, it means we're having fun now. It's, lighthearted. And so, it's like, they're like, "Wow, what does that mean?" And I'm like, "Well, basically it means that I am an omniscient super spirit with various powers that I'm going to use to make your lives better. I had a minimal impact as a granny, but now I can really oversee your lives and make sure that things are going right and good." And they're all kind of like, they're showing approval, they're nodding, but they're a little also apprehensive because they're not exactly sure what that means, and they're sort of scared at the prospect of Granny having new and ill-defined powers that she can use on them. But she's still the member of the family, and they're still trying to treat her right. So "Okay, Granny, come on, let's have some dinner." And she's like, "Oh, I'm plenty stuffed on ghost meat already. But, you look like there, my son, the Pop-Pop. You didn't eat all of your food. Maybe you should clean your plate for Grannyjuice." And he's like, "Oh, that's funny. Look, Mom, I'm an adult. It's nice having you live here, and we appreciate it. It's nice for the little tyke and everything. But you're not gonna boss me around like that, even if you're some crazy ghost woman, okay? I don't care what you're gonna do to me, but I'm not interested in following your orders, okay, sir? Is that okay with you?" "No, it's not," Granny says, and she snaps her fingers, and suddenly Dad is in a lonely pit of darkness. He's surrounded with a spotlight on him. It's just him and his plate of food. And she says, "Now you will sit in this realm of eternal darkness until you clean your plate like I asked you to." He's like, what the hell is this?" And he gets up and he starts screaming. He's pounding on the nothing. "Get me out, get me out. What is this? What is this? What is this horrible nightmare?" He says, "There's nowhere to run to, nowhere to go. I've trapped you in a dimension of eternal night from which there is no escape." And he's like, "Oh, I'll find a way out, goddamn you. I'm not gonna follow your orders. You're not gonna boss me around, Grannyjuice. This is unconscionable. This is awful. Oh, you're a fucking hell beast for sure. Oh, the devil gave you these powers. Oh, I'm gonna find a way out." And he starts screaming and tearing at the darkness. He's trying to pull it into his hands, but he can't. He's trying to bite it. He's trying to find any way he can to get out of this terrible world. And she's just sitting there laughing, going, "Oh, try as you might, you'll never find your way out of this plight. But you might want to eat your food quickly, because back in the real world, your house is slowly filling with poisonous gas." And he's like, "What the hell? What are you doing? If you don't eat your food soon, your family will die." "Oh my God, what? You can't be serious. You seriously gonna kill my family?" And then she opens up like a hole in reality, and he sees his family, and they're like, "Oh, where's Daddy?" And he's like, "Oh my God." And then he just voraciously eats the plate. He's licking the plate, and he's like, "Please, please, please don't kill my family. Here, look, it's clean, it's clean." And she's like, "That's a good boy. Now, was that so hard?" And he's like, what the hell?" Before he can even get a word out, she's gone, and he's back at home. And he's there, and his family's looking at him all crazy. And like, what's wrong, Pop-Up? You okay? And he's like, "Oh God, what? You guys almost died. Are you okay? Oh my God, I saw the poisonous gas." I'm like, "What poisonous gas, you fucking crazy person?" They all sound like me now. I'm not doing the voices for the whole family. And so that's the end of that. And he's like, where's Grannyjuice?" And I'm like, "Oh, I thought she left with you. She's gone now." And he's like, "Oh, well, maybe that's it. Maybe it's just some terrible vision I had. My family doesn't seem to have, well, they know who Grannyjuice is, so I guess it wasn't totally in my imagination, but maybe it's done. I cleaned my plate, and maybe this horrible banshee will be exorcised for good." And so they go about doing a thing. The little Taiki goes upstairs. He starts playing a video game. He's playing Grand Theft Auto or something, and he's shooting everybody, and he's cracking over hookers with a baseball bat, sticking it up their dirty vaginas. And Grannyjuice pops in, and she's sitting there in her beautiful suit, and her smoking her cigar, and her Milton Berle glasses. And she's saying, "Oh, this isn't an appropriate activity for a little boy such as yourself to be killing and raping about the streets. A pillager you be, but you're a little child, I see. This isn't appropriate for thee." And he's like, "Whatever, Grandma, cram it. I ain't listening to you, all right? I love video games. They make me happy. They give me a heart on. It's great. Ah, kill, kill, kill. Fun, fun, fun." And Granny says, "Don't you think it's inappropriate and wrong to be wantonly murdering your peers of man?" And he says, "No, it doesn't matter. They're just video game people. It's not real. It's all pretend." And she's like, "Well, let's see about that, huh?" Then she snaps her little fingers with ashes out her cigar, and pop, he's in the video game. But he's not one of the. He's not the main guy. He's not the guy in the leather jacket with the baseball bat. He's like, "Oh crap!" He looks around him. He sees the digital trees. He sees the pixelated buildings, and then he looks down at his clothes. Oh, he's got a red teddy on. He's a hooker. He's a hooker in the video game. He's got beautiful long blonde locks, and he's running. And he sees the main guy. And he's running out with a baseball bat with determination in his eyes. He's gonna get his money back. And he's like, "Oh damn it, I better run," but he can't run very fast because he's got high heels on. They don't give them the Timberland boots like the main guy gets. And so he's trying to run, but he's going like tick 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 tick. And meanwhile, the guy's like, "Rug, rug, rug, I'm coming for you." And he grabs him. He grabs him and he viciously rapes him. And he's like, "Oh God, I never knew this would be like this. I've never had." That's what the kid sounds like. I've never had a sexual experience before. Oh, and the first one I'm having is this horrible, aggressive, super magical, psychosexual thing that's happening because of my Grannyjuice. Oh my God, this is so horrible. And this is happening where there's like pixels falling off of him, and this video game guy is like beating him up while he's fucking him. He's like cutting off his fingers while he's raping him in the butt. And the Granny's like, "Oh, you thought that this was no consequences playing video games, but now you see the errors of your ways, don't you, little tyke?" And he's just crying like, "Meh, meh, meh." He's nonverbal at this point. He's been traumatized beyond speech ability. So Granny's mission is accomplished here, and then she wants to check out what Mama's doing. Mom, where's she at? So she's Grannyjuice. She floats through the walls, and she sees Mama, and she's on the bed by herself. And what she got? Oh, she's nude, and she's got one of them rabbit things crammed in her vagina. And she's pleasuring herself and going, "Oh, my goodness, what a wonderful feeling this is." And Granny is like, "Oh, what is this now? Engaging in sexual pleasures without your husband? Much an inappropriate thing is this." And the wife is like, "Leave me alone. My husband's dick doesn't work so good anymore because of his rage and alcohol problems. Just leave me alone, okay? This is fine. This is natural." "No, it isn't. God decree that sexual pleasure should not be found between anybody but a man and a woman in union. To do it in silent, solitary being is a very grave sin indeed. You wouldn't like that be happening with your husband now, would you?" And she's like, I don't care what happens to him. It's fine. He can jack off all he wants." "So you wouldn't mind seeing him experiencing the deepest of sexual pleasures, in your view?" "No, that would be fine." "Okay, here we go." "Wait, what?" Snaps her fingers, ashes a cigar, adjusts her Milton Berle glasses. The next thing you know, she's in some sort of realm of sexual bacchanal. It's all purple and reddish, and there's lots of curtains. She parts her way through the curtains. "Where is this? Where am I?" And Grannyjuice is hovering above her, tittering away. "You'll see soon enough." And then they're in there, and she sees her husband nude, and he's getting just rammed all 6 ways from sideways. He's got a dick in his ass. He's got a dick inside his dick hole. He's got 2 dicks in his nostrils, a dick in his mouth, a dick in his ears. It's like going through his ears, like one of those arrow hats, like it's just washing his brain. And he's also got 2 dicks in his eye sockets, and you'd think this would hurt, but he's just groaning in pleasure, going, "Whoa, whoa, oh yeah, get in there, get in my soul holes, get in there, come on all of them, fill me up." And his wife is horrified. She's like, "Oh my God, I never knew that my husband was into such deplorable things." And she's like, "Now you see the truth inside. You should never be what you presume to be in the solitary time, but only what you would prefer in a union between man and woman and God above. Never commit to sex that you would not condone yourself, lest you find yourself in a bacchanal beyond your comprehension." And the woman is crying, and she's like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" And then one of the big black guys that's fucking her husband in the ass, he pulls out, and his dick grows and grows as big as Jack's beanstalk. And at the tip of the head, what is it but Grannyjuice? And she's laughing, ah! And she's like, "Oh my God, what is this terrible nightmare before me?" And then the Grannyjuice, she swoops in with her fangs. Her dick head has fangs, and it's ah! And she eats her. But then she wakes up, and it was all a horrible nightmare. And she's laying next to her husband, and she's like, "We gotta do something about Granny. This is crazy. She's become a terrible monster." And he's like, "I agree." So he's like, "I know someone at work who's an exorcist. He'll come and help us out." So they call Paul, who's someone that Daddy Pop works with, and they call him, and he comes over, and Grannyjuice is floating and drinking a nice iced bottle of scotch. And she's like, "Oh, what's this now? Presume to get rid of me now, will you? Oh, let's see about that." And the exorcist is like, "The power of Christ compels you, you dirty whore. Get out of this house. Nobody wants you here. Go peddle your worthers somewhere else. Go knit a knitting circle. Go find it. Get out of here. Go, damn straight." But it's not working. He's being blown back and everything. But she's like, "I'll show you what powerful ghost is." And the bling blown back, the hair's being blown back. Ah! He's like, "You will not remove me from this space." And then she goes, and then suddenly the door opens, and the exorcist is flown out of the door, flown out into the night. He flies up into the moon and explodes. And they're like, "Oh my God, this totally didn't work." And she's like, "You were going to cast me away into the pits of hell? Oh, let's see what punishment is fit for thee now, for a family that would condemn the loving Grannyjuice to a life of eternal torment." But then, suddenly, the clouds part, and who should appear but jolly old St. Peter? He's like, "Grannyjuice, you have committed a great and powerful thing upon your family, teaching them the error of their ways. Be welcome into my open bosom, and come into your heaven room." And she does. She flies up to heaven, and that's the end of the movie. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that. Grannyjuice. See it in theaters soon. I'm Game Cop. Bye, Game Cop.